Hello and welcome to Story-Driven English. What if I told you that the most ordinary day of your life could change everything? That a simple package at your door could be the key that unlocks a whole new world? Today's story follows Sarah, a 35-year-old office worker who thinks her life is completely predictable, until one unexpected delivery changes how she sees everything. This story contains simple everyday English that you can use immediately, but wrapped in a tale so captivating you'll want to hear it until the very end. Before we begin, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. Our channel transforms boring vocabulary lists into unforgettable stories that make English stick in your mind forever. Join thousands of learners who've discovered the magic of story-driven English. Now, let's step into Sarah's world and discover how ordinary moments can lead to extraordinary changes. A day in Sarah's life. Morning routine. Sarah is 35 years old. She lives alone in a small apartment. Well, not really alone. She has a dog named Max and a cat named Luna. They are her best friends. Every morning, Sarah wakes up at 6:30 a.m. Her alarm clock rings, and she hits the snooze button. Just 5 more minutes, she thinks. But Max has other plans. He jumps on her bed and licks her face. Okay, I'm up. Sarah laughs and gets out of bed. Max is a golden retriever. He is 5 years old and full of energy. His fur is soft and golden. His tail always wags when he sees Sarah. Luna is a gray cat with green eyes. She is 7 years old and very calm. Luna likes to sleep a lot and watch everything from high places. Sarah goes to the bathroom to brush her teeth and wash her face. She looks in the mirror. She has brown hair that reaches her shoulders. Her eyes are also brown. She is not beautiful like a movie star, but she has a kind face and a nice smile. Some gray hairs are starting to appear, but Sarah doesn't mind. She thinks they make her look wise. After brushing her teeth, she puts on her exercise clothes. Sarah likes to stay healthy, so she does yoga for 20 minutes every morning. She rolls out her purple yoga mat in the living room. The living room is small but cozy. There is a comfortable sofa, a TV, and some plants by the window. Photos of her family and friends hang on the walls. Sarah starts her yoga routine. She stretches her arms up high and then bends down to touch her toes. She does the downward dog pose and the warrior pose. Her body feels good after sleeping all night. Luna, her cat, watches her from the sofa. Luna never joins the morning exercise. She is too lazy. Sometimes, Max tries to join by lying on the yoga mat, making Sarah laugh. Max, this is not dog yoga, she says with a smile. After yoga, Sarah takes a quick shower and gets dressed for work. She puts on black pants, a blue blouse, and comfortable shoes. She doesn't wear much makeup, just a little lipstick and mascara. Sarah works at a big company downtown. She is not a manager, but her job is important. She helps customers with their problems. For breakfast, Sarah makes a simple meal: 2 eggs, some toast, and a cup of coffee. She also prepares food for Max and Luna. Max eats dog food with some chicken pieces. Luna eats cat food with a small piece of fish. Here you go, my friends, she says as she puts down their food bowls. While eating breakfast, Sarah checks her phone. She reads the news and answers some messages from her friends. Her best friend, Lisa, sent a funny picture of her new baby. Sarah smiles and sends a heart emoji back. At 8:15 a.m., it's time to leave. She puts on her coat and takes her bag. She pets Max and Luna goodbye. "Be good while I'm gone," she tells them. Max barks, and Luna just blinks slowly. The commute. Sarah walks to the bus stop near her apartment. It's a 5-minute walk. The morning is cool and pleasant. The sky is blue with a few white clouds. Sarah takes a deep breath of fresh air. She sees the same people at the bus stop every day. There is an old man who always reads a newspaper. His name is Mr. Chen. He is about 70 years old and always wears a hat. There is also a young student who listens to loud music. Sarah can hear the beat from his headphones. There is a woman with 2 small children. She looks tired but always helps her kids with their backpacks and lunchboxes. Sarah doesn't talk much with these people, but they all nod and smile at each other. It's like a silent morning club. The bus arrives at 8:30 a.m. It's big and blue. Sarah gets on and shows her bus pass to the driver. The driver, Ron, knows all the regular passengers. "Morning, Sarah. Ready for another day?" Ron asks. "Yes, Ron. Another day, another dollar," Sarah replies with a smile. The bus is crowded, but she is lucky today. She finds a seat next to the window. The seat is not very comfortable, but it's better than standing. She takes out her book and reads during the 25-minute ride. The book is about a detective solving a mystery. Sarah loves mystery books. They make her commute go by faster. The bus passes through different parts of the city. First, it goes through a residential area with houses and small shops. Then, it passes a park where people walk their dogs in the morning. Finally, it reaches the downtown area with tall buildings and busy streets. Sarah gets off the bus at Central Station. It's a big transportation hub where buses, trains, and subway lines meet. The station is always busy with people rushing in all directions. Some are going to work like Sarah. Others are tourists with maps and cameras. From there, she walks for 10 minutes to reach her office building. She passes a coffee shop, a bookstore, and a bakery. The smell of fresh bread makes her stomach growl, even though she just had breakfast. The office building is tall with many glass windows. It's 30 floors high and very modern. Hundreds of people work there. Different companies have offices on different floors. She enters the building and says good morning to Tom, the security guard. Tom sits at a desk near the entrance. He checks IDs and helps visitors. Tom is about 60 years old with gray hair and a friendly smile. He has worked in the building for 20 years and knows everyone. "Good morning, Sarah. Nice day, isn't it?" Tom says with a smile. "Yes, it is, Tom. Have a good day," Sarah replies. She takes the elevator to the 14th floor. The elevator is full of people in suits and dresses. Everyone looks serious and busy. Some look at their phones. Others check papers in their folders. No one talks. It's the unwritten rule of the elevator. Silence until you reach your floor. At the office, Sarah arrives at her desk at 9 a.m. Her company, Global Solutions, takes up the entire 14th floor. It's a large open space with many desks arranged in rows. There are some private offices along the walls for managers and executives. Sarah works in the customer service department. Her desk is neat and organized. She has a computer, a phone, and some notebooks. There are a few photos of Max and Luna. There is also a small plant that she waters every Monday. Her colleague, Anna, sits next to her. Anna is 27 and very talkative. She has long blonde hair and always wears colorful clothes. Today, she wears a pink dress with flowers. Anna is single but always has interesting dating stories to share. Good morning, Sarah. How was your weekend? Anna asks cheerfully. It was quiet. I took Max to the park and watched some movies at home. What about you? Sarah responds. Oh, I went to a new restaurant with my boyfriend. The food was amazing. You should come with us next time, Anna suggests. Sarah smiles politely. She doesn't tell Anna that she feels a bit sad being the third wheel around couples. It's not that she is desperate to find a partner, but sometimes she feels lonely. Maybe next time, Sarah says. So, how's your new boyfriend? Mark, right? Mike, Anna corrects. He's wonderful. He's taking me to a concert this weekend. Their conversation is interrupted when their manager, Mrs. Thompson, calls for a morning meeting. Mrs. Thompson is a strict but fair boss. She's in her early 50s and always dresses in sharp business suits. The team gathers in the meeting room. There are 12 people in the customer service team. They sit around a large table. Mrs. Thompson stands at the head of the table with a presentation on the screen behind her. Good morning, everyone. We have a busy week ahead. Our new product is launching on Thursday, so expect more customer calls and inquiries. I need everyone to review the product manual today. Any questions? Mrs. Thompson speaks clearly and directly. No one has questions, so they all return to their desks. Sarah opens the product manual on her computer. It's for a new software that helps small businesses manage their finances. She reads carefully and takes notes. She wants to be prepared when customers call with questions. The morning is busy with phone calls and emails. Sarah helps customers who have problems with their accounts. She is patient and good at solving problems. She speaks slowly and clearly, especially with elderly customers who are not comfortable with technology. Yes, Mrs. Wilson, I understand. Let me help you reset your password. Can you tell me your account number, please? Sarah says to one customer. By 11:30 a.m., Sarah has handled 15 calls and responded to 20 emails. Her throat feels dry from talking so much. She gets up to refill her water bottle at the water cooler. At the water cooler, she meets David from the marketing department. David is always dressed in expensive suits and talks loudly about his achievements. He thinks he's very important. Hey, Sarah. Busy morning? David asks, not really interested in her answer. Yes, quite busy, Sarah replies simply. Well, I just closed a big deal. The client was impressed with my presentation. I'll probably get a bonus this month, David brags. Sarah nods politely and returns to her desk. She doesn't like David much, but she is always professional. At noon, it's lunchtime. Most colleagues go out to eat, but Sarah brought her lunch from home. She has a salad with chicken and a yogurt. She eats at her desk while watching funny videos online. Videos of cats doing silly things always make her laugh. They remind her of Luna's occasional crazy moments. James from the IT department stops by her desk. James is tall with dark hair and glasses. He's quiet and a bit shy. He's good with computers but not so good with people. He's been working at the company for 3 years. Just like Sarah. Hi Sarah. Do you have a minute? Your computer update is ready, he says. Sure, James. Go ahead, Sarah replies. James works on her computer while Sarah continues eating. There's an awkward silence. Sarah tries to make conversation. So, do you have any plans for the weekend? She asks. Not really. Just working on some personal projects. I like to build websites in my free time, James answers, not making eye contact. That sounds interesting. What kind of websites? Sarah asks. Oh, just simple ones. One for my cousin's bakery, another for a friend's band, James explains, becoming a bit more comfortable. James is nice and always helpful. Some colleagues think he likes Sarah, but he never asks her out. Sarah sometimes wonders if they could be more than friends, but she is too shy to make the first move. After James finishes the update, he says, "All done. Your computer should run faster now." Thanks, James. I appreciate it, Sarah says with a smile. James lingers for a moment as if he wants to say something more, but then just nods and walks away. The afternoon is filled with meetings and more customer calls. At 2 p.m., Sarah has a training session for the new product. The trainer explains all the features and answers questions. Sarah takes detailed notes. She knows customers will have many questions when the product launches. At 3 p.m., she has a one-on-one meeting with Mrs. Thompson to discuss her performance. These meetings happen once a month, and Sarah always feels a bit nervous. Sarah, your customer satisfaction ratings are excellent this month. Customers appreciate your patience and clear explanations, Mrs. Thompson says, reviewing her performance report. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. I try my best, Sarah responds, feeling relieved. However, I noticed you haven't volunteered for any additional projects. Are you interested in taking on more responsibilities? Mrs. Thompson asks. Sarah thinks for a moment. She is good at her job, but sometimes she dreams of doing something more creative. Maybe this is a chance to try something new. Actually, yes. I would be interested in helping with creating customer guides or tutorials. I think I could explain complex features in simple terms, Sarah suggests. Mrs. Thompson nods approvingly. That's a good idea. I'll connect you with the content team. They could use your customer insight. Sarah leaves the meeting feeling motivated. This could be a new opportunity for growth. Unexpected events. At 3:30 p.m., Sarah's phone rings. It's not a customer. It's her neighbor, Mrs. Rodriguez. Mrs. Rodriguez is an elderly lady who lives next door. She's kind and often looks after Max and Luna when Sarah works late. Sarah, dear, I'm sorry to bother you at work, but your dog is barking a lot. Is everything okay? Mrs. Rodriguez asks. Sarah feels worried. Max is usually quiet during the day. He only barks when something unusual happens. I'm not sure, Mrs. Rodriguez. Could you check on them? I have a spare key under the flower pot, Sarah says. Mrs. Rodriguez agrees to check. Sarah waits anxiously for her call back. She tries to focus on work, but her mind keeps thinking about Max and Luna. What if there's a fire? What if someone broke in? What if Max is sick? 10 minutes later, Mrs. Rodriguez calls again. Everything is fine, dear. There was a delivery person at your door. They left a package. Max was just being a good guard dog, she explains. Sarah feels relieved. Thank you so much, Mrs. Rodriguez. I'll bring you some cookies this weekend. No need, dear. That's what neighbors are for. By the way, it looks like a nice package. Very well wrapped, Mrs. Rodriguez adds with curiosity in her voice. After the call, Sarah wonders about the package. She didn't order anything. Who could it be from? Maybe it's from her parents? They sometimes send her surprise gifts. Or maybe it's from Lisa. Her birthday is next month, but Lisa sometimes sends early gifts. At her desk, Sarah tries to focus on work again, but her mind keeps wandering to the mysterious package. The afternoon seems to drag on forever. At 4:30 p.m., Anna returns from a client meeting and stops by Sarah's desk. You look distracted. Everything okay? Anna asks. Sarah tells her about the package. Anna gets excited. Ooh, a mystery package. Maybe you have a secret admirer. Anna says too loudly. Sarah blushes and shushes her. Don't be silly. It's probably just something from my mom. Well, let me know what it is tomorrow. I love surprises, even when they're not for me, Anna says with a wink. The journey home. At 5:30 p.m., Sarah's workday ends. She packs her bag and says goodbye to her colleagues. Anna invites her to join a group for drinks at a nearby bar. Come on, Sarah. It's Wednesday, halfway through the week. We deserve some fun, Anna persuades. Sarah is tempted but declines politely. Thanks, but I want to get home to see what the package is. Plus, Max and Luna are waiting for me. Your pets have you wrapped around their paws, Anna teases. Maybe next time. Sarah takes the elevator down to the lobby. The evening rush has begun. People stream out of office buildings, eager to get home after a long day of work. Outside, the weather has changed. It's starting to rain lightly. Sarah opens her umbrella. She didn't check the weather forecast this morning, but she always keeps an umbrella in her bag. Better safe than sorry. The evening commute is more crowded than the morning. The bus is packed with people. Sarah stands in the bus, holding on to a handrail. The bus jolts and sways with traffic. People are pressed against each other, trying not to fall. A young man offers her his seat, which makes her feel a bit old. He can't be more than 18 or 19. Does she really look that old or tired? No, thank you. I'm fine standing. Sarah smiles but declines the offer. The young man shrugs and continues looking at his phone. The rain gets heavier. Drops hit the bus windows and create patterns as they slide down. Sarah watches the city go by through the rainy window. The lights of the city reflect in the wet streets, creating a beautiful scene. The bus is moving slowly due to traffic and rain. Sarah checks the time. It's already 6:15 p.m. The commute is taking longer than usual. On the way home, Sarah gets off one stop early. She needs to stop at the grocery store. The rain has eased to a drizzle now. She puts away her umbrella and enters the store. The grocery store is bright and busy. Sarah gets a shopping basket and walks through the aisles. She buys some vegetables, carrots, spinach, and bell peppers. She gets some chicken breast for dinner. She also picks up milk, bread, and eggs for breakfast. In the pet aisle, she gets a special treat for Max and Luna. A bone-shaped biscuit for Max and a catnip toy for Luna. They deserve something nice after the excitement with the delivery person today. While waiting in line at the checkout, she notices a flyer on the bulletin board. It's for a photography class on weekends. The class is for beginners and intermediate levels. It starts next Saturday and runs for 8 weeks. Sarah loves taking pictures but never had formal training. She takes photos of Max and Luna, of flowers in the park, of sunsets from her apartment window. But she wants to get better. She takes a photo of the flyer with her phone to think about it later. The cashier scans her items. "That will be $42.75, she says. Sarah pays with her credit card and puts the groceries in her reusable bags. The bags are heavy, but she manages to carry them. The rain has stopped completely now. The walk from the bus stop to her apartment feels longer than usual. Sarah is curious and excited about the package. She walks past the small park near her apartment building. During the day, this park is full of children playing and people walking their dogs. Now, in the evening, it's quiet. The streetlights create pools of light on the wet paths. Sarah enters her apartment building. It's a 5-story building with 20 apartments. She lives on the 3rd floor. There's an elevator, but it's small and slow. Sometimes Sarah takes the stairs instead, but not today. Not with heavy grocery bags. She waits for the elevator, shifting the weight of the bags from one hand to the other. Mrs. Rodriguez's door opens, and she peeks out. "Oh, Sarah, you're home. Your pets have been quiet since the delivery. I think they're waiting for you," she says with a smile. "Thank you again for checking on them, Mrs. Rodriguez." "I really appreciate it," Sarah says. "No problem, dear. And don't forget to tell me what's in that mysterious package," Mrs. Rodriguez adds with a twinkle in her eye. The elevator arrives, and Sarah steps in. She presses the button for the 3rd floor. The elevator creaks and moves slowly upward. Evening at home. The elevator stops at the 3rd floor, and Sarah walks to her apartment door. Even before she puts her key in the lock, she can hear Max's excited scratching and whining from inside. He knows she's home. When Sarah opens her apartment door, Max greets her with excitement. He jumps and barks happily, his whole body wiggling with joy. Luna, as usual, stays on the sofa but gives a small meow to acknowledge Sarah's return. "Hello, my loves. Did you miss me?" Sarah says, petting both of her pets. Max follows her to the kitchen, wagging his tail, while Luna stretches and then settles back on the sofa. Sarah puts the groceries away and changes into comfortable clothes, sweatpants and an old t-shirt. She looks around the apartment. It's small but cozy. The living room and kitchen are one open space. There's one bedroom and one bathroom. It's enough for her and her pets. She sees the package on the coffee table. It's not very big, wrapped in brown paper with her name and address handwritten on it. There's no return address. Sarah sits on the sofa, and Luna immediately moves to sit on her lap. Max sits at her feet, looking up expectantly. They both seem curious about the package too. "Shall we open it?" Sarah asks her pets. Max barks once, as if saying yes. Sarah opens the package carefully. Inside, She finds a beautiful photo frame with a picture of her, Max, and Luna at the park. The frame is silver with small paw prints designed around the edges. The photo shows Sarah sitting on a bench with Max at her feet and Luna in her arms. They all look happy in the sunshine. There's a note that says, "Thought you might like this. James from IT." Sarah is surprised and touched. She didn't know James took this photo when they bumped into each other at the park last month. It was a Sunday, and Sarah was enjoying the good weather with her pets. James was there taking photos of birds. They talked for a few minutes about photography. Sarah mentioned she liked taking photos too but wasn't very good at it. "Look at this, Max and Luna. Isn't it nice?" Sarah shows the photo to her pets. Max barks in approval, while Luna just blinks. Sarah sends a text message to James. "Thank you for the beautiful photo frame. It was a lovely surprise." She waits nervously for his reply. The phone beeps a minute later. James replies quickly, "You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. Would you like to have coffee sometime?" Sarah smiles widely and types, "Yes, I would like that." Then she adds, "How about Saturday morning?" James responds, "Saturday morning sounds perfect. The cafe near the park at 10 a.m. "See you there," Sarah confirms. She puts the phone down, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Is this a date? Or just a friendly coffee? She's not sure, but she's looking forward to it. Max nudges her hand with his nose, asking for attention. Sarah laughs and pets him. "Yes, you're still my number one guy," she tells him. For dinner, Sarah cooks a simple chicken stir-fry with the vegetables she bought. She cuts the chicken into small pieces and marinates it with soy sauce and a little honey. She chops the vegetables while the rice cooks. The apartment fills with delicious smells. Sarah eats while watching her favorite TV show. It's a comedy about a group of friends living in the same building. Max sits at her feet, hoping for a small piece of chicken. Luna curls up beside her on the sofa. "No, Max. Your food is in your bowl," Sarah says firmly when Max gives her his best begging face. But she eventually gives in and drops a small piece of chicken for him. After dinner, Sarah cleans the dishes and makes a cup of tea. She thinks about the photography class. It could be fun and might help her improve her skills. The class is on Saturday afternoons, which would still give her time for coffee with James in the morning. Sarah decides to sign up for the class. She goes to the website on her phone and fills out the registration form. It costs $200 for 8 weeks, which is a bit expensive, but Sarah thinks it's worth it. She needs to do something for herself, something she enjoys. After registering, Sarah calls her mother. They talk every other day. Sarah's parents live in a small town about 2 hours away. They're both retired now. "Hi, Mom. How are you and Dad?" Sarah asks. "We're good, dear. Your father is working in the garden. The tomatoes are coming in nicely this year," her mother replies. They talk for half an hour about family news and daily life. Sarah tells her mother about her day, the new project at work, and even about the coffee invitation from James. "That's wonderful, dear. He sounds nice," her mother says excitedly. "Is he handsome?" Sarah laughs. "Mom, it's just coffee. Don't start planning the wedding yet." I know. But you're not getting any younger, Sarah, her mother says. Sarah sighs. Her mother always brings up her age and single status. It's a sensitive topic for Sarah. She knows her mother means well, but it sometimes makes her feel inadequate. I'm happy with my life, Mom. If something develops with James, great. If not, that's okay too, Sarah says. After the call, Sarah looks through some work emails on her laptop. She checks her social media accounts. Her friend Lisa posted more pictures of her baby. Sarah likes the photos and leaves a comment. He's getting so big. Can't wait to see you both soon. At 9:30 p.m., Sarah takes Max for a short walk around the block. The night is quiet and starry. The air is fresh after the rain. Max trots happily beside her, occasionally stopping to sniff interesting spots. They meet a few other dog walkers and exchange nods. As they walk, Sarah thinks about her day. It was mostly a regular day, but it ended with a nice surprise. The photo from James made her feel special, and the coffee invitation gave her something to look forward to. Back at home, Sarah gets ready for bed. She sets her alarm, brushes her teeth, and puts on her pajamas. Before going to bed, she looks at the photo frame again. It really is a nice picture. Max settles at the foot of her bed, and Luna finds a spot on the pillow next to Sarah's. "Good night, my friends," Sarah whispers as she turns off the light. As she falls asleep, Sarah thinks about the photography class and the coffee date with James. She also thinks about the new project at work. Maybe her ordinary life is about to become a little more interesting. Dreams and plans. Sarah dreams that night. In her dream, she is taking beautiful photographs. Her pictures are displayed in a gallery, and many people come to see them. James is there, smiling proudly at her. Max and Luna are also in the gallery, wearing tiny bow ties. Sarah wakes up feeling happy and inspired. Her alarm hasn't gone off yet, but early morning light filters through the curtains. It's 6:15 a.m., just 15 minutes before her alarm. She lies in bed for a moment, thinking about her dream. Could she really become a good photographer? The class might be the first step toward something bigger. Sarah has always played it safe in life. Stable job, regular routine, no big risks. Maybe it's time for a small change. Max stirs at the foot of the bed, sensing that Sarah is awake. He moves up to put his head on her stomach. Sarah scratches behind his ears, his favorite spot. "What do you think, Max? Should I try something new?" she asks. Max licks her hand as if saying yes. Sarah gets up, feeling more energetic than usual. Today might be just another workday, but she has something to look forward to. The morning routine is the same. Yoga, shower, breakfast. But Sarah hums a happy tune while preparing food for Max and Luna. "Today feels different, doesn't it?" she tells her pets. Before leaving, Sarah places the photo frame from James on her shelf. It looks perfect there, between the small potted plant and the seashell she found on her last beach vacation. As she walks to the bus stop, Sarah notices small things she usually misses. The flowers blooming in her neighbor's garden, the cheerful sound of birds, the smile of the newspaper vendor. She takes her phone out and snaps a quick photo of the morning sky. The clouds are pink and orange with the rising sun. It's not a perfect photo, but it captures the beauty of the moment. At the bus stop, Mr. Chen notices her good mood. "You look happy today," he says, lowering his newspaper. "I guess I am," Sarah replies with a smile. On the bus, Sarah doesn't read her book. Instead, she looks out the window, taking in the city waking up. She thinks about what she'll wear for coffee with James on Saturday. The blue dress maybe? Or is that too formal for morning coffee? She decides to ask Anna for advice. At work, the day is busy with the new product launch preparations. Sarah helps create a simple guide for customers, using her clear and simple language skills. Mrs. Thompson is impressed with her work. "This is exactly what we needed, Sarah. Clear, simple and helpful." "Well done," Mrs. Thompson says. Sarah feels proud. This is the first time she's contributed to something beyond her regular customer service duties. At lunch, she tells Anna about the coffee with James and asks for fashion advice. Anna gets very excited. "I knew he liked you. The way he always comes to your desk first for any IT issues, even when other people have been waiting longer." "It's just coffee, Anna. Don't make it into a big deal," Sarah says, but she's smiling. "Wear the green top with those black pants. Casual but cute. And a little mascara wouldn't hurt," Anna advises. The afternoon passes quickly. Sarah handles her customer calls efficiently, her mind occasionally wandering to Saturday. She also thinks about the photography class. What kind of camera should she bring? Her phone has a good camera, but maybe she should invest in a real camera if she's serious about this hobby. After work, Sarah stops at an electronics store. She doesn't buy anything but looks at different cameras and asks the salesperson some questions. The professional cameras are expensive, but there are some good options for beginners. Sarah decides to wait until after a few classes to make a decision. That evening at home, Sarah looks through her closet. She finds the green top Anna suggested and tries it on. It does look nice. She hasn't worn it in a while. She also finds a pair of earrings that would go well with it. Max watches her from the bed, his head tilted in confusion at all the clothes spread out. "I know, it's silly to plan an outfit 3 days in advance. But it's been a long time since I've had coffee with someone new," Sarah explains to her dog. She calls her sister, Rachel, who lives in another city with her husband and 2 children. Rachel is 3 years younger than Sarah but got married young. "A coffee date? That's great, Sarah. Tell me about this James guy," Rachel says enthusiastically. Sarah shares what she knows about James, that he's quiet, good with computers, seems kind, and takes nice photos. "He sounds nice. And hey, if he's into photography and you're taking a photography class, you already have something in common," Rachel points out. "True. I hadn't thought of that," Sarah admits. They talk for a while longer about Rachel's kids and their upcoming family vacation. After the call, Sarah feels good. Talking to her sister always helps her put things in perspective. Before bed, Sarah looks at the photo James took again. It really is a good photo. The lighting is perfect, and he captured a genuine moment of happiness. Maybe he could give her some photography tips. As she falls asleep that night, Sarah thinks about the changes coming into her life. Nothing dramatic. Just coffee with a nice man, a new class, and a small project at work. But for someone with such a set routine, these small changes feel significant. Life is made up of ordinary days, but sometimes, Ordinary days bring new possibilities. For Sarah, this is just the beginning of a new chapter in her story. Reflections. The next morning, Sarah's alarm wakes her at 6:30 a.m. as usual. Max is already awake, waiting for her to start the day. Luna stretches lazily on the pillow. "Good morning, you two. Ready for another day?" Sarah says, getting out of bed. The morning routine proceeds as normal, but Sarah feels different inside. She finds herself thinking about the future more than usual. Not just the immediate future, Saturday's coffee with James and the photography class, but beyond that. What does she want from her life? Is she happy with her job, her apartment, her daily routine? The answer isn't simple. She likes her job well enough. It's stable and pays the bills. Her apartment is small but comfortable. Her routine is predictable but comforting. But there's a part of Sarah that wonders if there could be more. More challenge, more excitement, more connection with others. The photography class and the coffee with James are small steps toward something different. As she does her morning yoga, Sarah decides to be more open to new experiences. Not to change everything at once, but to say yes more often when opportunities arise. What do you think, Luna? Should I try new things? Sarah asks her cat. Luna blinks slowly, which cat lovers know is a sign of trust and affection. Sarah takes it as approval. After getting dressed, Sarah puts on a little more makeup than usual. Not much, just a touch of blush to brighten her face. She also wears a necklace her sister gave her for her birthday. Small changes, but they make her feel good. At work, the day is busy with the new product launch. Customers call with questions, and Sarah patiently explains how to use the new software features. Her clear explanations earn her compliments from several customers. "Thank you for making this so easy to understand. The manual was confusing, but you explained it perfectly," one customer says. These moments remind Sarah why she likes her job. Helping people, solving problems, making things clear and simple. These are valuable skills. During her lunch break, Sarah researches the photography class more. She finds the instructor's website and looks at his work. His photos are beautiful. Landscapes, portraits, city scenes. Sarah hopes she can learn to take photos even half as good. She also thinks about what camera to buy eventually. There's a mid-range option that seems good for beginners but has enough features to grow into. It's expensive, but Sarah has some savings. Maybe this is worth investing in if she enjoys the class. In the afternoon, James stops by her desk to fix a printer issue. He seems a bit nervous, different from his usual quiet professionalism. "All set with Saturday?" he asks as he finishes with the printer. "Yes, looking forward to it," Sarah replies with a smile. "Great. Me too," James says, returning the smile before walking away. Anna, who overheard the exchange, gives Sarah a thumbs up from her desk. Sarah shakes her head but can't help smiling. That evening at home, Sarah decides to try something new for dinner. Instead of her usual chicken stir-fry, she attempts to make pasta from scratch. She found a simple recipe online that doesn't require any special equipment. The kitchen gets messy as she mixes flour and eggs, rolling out the dough on her counter. The pasta doesn't look perfect, but it's fun to make. Max watches with interest, hoping for fallen scraps. No pasta for dogs, Sarah tells him, but she gives him a dog treat instead. The homemade pasta tastes delicious with a simple tomato sauce. Sarah feels proud of herself for trying something new, even if it's just a small thing like making pasta. After dinner, she takes out her phone and looks at her photos. Many are of Max and Luna, or places she's visited. They're not bad, but they're simple snapshots. She wants to learn how to capture moments better, how to use light and composition to tell a story through images. She selects a few of her best photos and creates a folder on her phone. These will be examples to show the photography instructor, to help him understand her current skill level and what she hopes to learn. Sarah notices that many of her favorite photos are of ordinary moments. Max playing with his favorite toy, Luna sitting in a sunbeam, the sunset view from her window. Maybe that's her style. Finding beauty in everyday life. While looking through photos, Sarah finds pictures from Lisa's wedding 3 years ago. Sarah was a bridesmaid. In the group photos, she stands with the other bridesmaids, all in purple dresses. Among them is Emma, Lisa's cousin, who is now married with a baby on the way. And Maria, who moved to Australia for a job opportunity. And Sarah, still in the same city, same job, same apartment. For a moment, Sarah feels a pang of sadness. Has her life moved forward at all in these 3 years? But then she reminds herself that everyone has their own path. Hers might not include marriage and children right now, but it includes good friends, beloved pets, a stable job, and new interests like photography. Life isn't a race, she says out loud to herself. Max looks up at the sound of her voice and wags his tail. Sarah puts her phone away and takes out a notebook. She starts to write down some goals for the next year. Not resolutions, just things she wants to try or achieve. 1. Complete the photography class. 2. Save for a good camera. 3. Take at least one weekend trip to somewhere new. 4. Try cooking a new recipe each month. 5. Maybe redecorate the apartment a little. The list makes her feel good. These are achievable goals that will bring more variety to her life without dramatic changes. Before bed, Sarah calls her parents. Her father answers this time. "Hello, sweetheart. How's my girl?" he asks in his warm, deep voice. "I'm good, Dad. Just wanted to say hi before bed," Sarah replies. They chat about his garden, about a new book he's reading, about the weather. Simple, everyday topics, but the conversation is comforting. Her father has always been her rock, steady and supportive. "Your mother tells me you might have a date this weekend," he mentions casually. Sarah smiles. "It's just coffee, Dad. With a colleague from work." "Well, coffee is how your mother and I started. Had coffee at that little cafe near the library. Married her 6 months later," he reminisces. "I don't think I'll be getting married in 6 months, Dad," Sarah laughs. "Of course not. Times are different now. Just saying, you never know where things might lead," he says. After the call, Sarah gets ready for bed. The day has been ordinary in many ways, but rich in thoughts and reflections. As she brushes her teeth, she looks at herself in the mirror. The same brown eyes, the same face she's always had. But something is different. There's a spark of excitement, of possibility. Max and Luna are already on the bed, in their usual spots. Sarah joins them, turning off the light. In the darkness, she thinks about the days ahead. Thursday and Friday will be busy at work with the product launch. Then Saturday, coffee with James and the first photography class. Sunday might be good for trying another new recipe. "Good night, my friends," she whispers to her pets. "We have some interesting days ahead." The coffee date. Saturday morning arrives sunny and clear. Sarah wakes up earlier than usual, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Today is her coffee date with James and her first photography class. She takes extra time getting ready. She showers, blow-dries her hair, and puts on a little more makeup than usual. She wears the green top Anna suggested, paired with black pants and small silver earrings. She looks in the mirror and feels good about her appearance. Not glamorous, but nice. "How do I look?" she asks Max and Luna. Max barks approval, and Luna just blinks slowly from the bed. Sarah gives Max a longer walk than usual in the morning, making sure he gets enough exercise before she leaves for most of the day. Back at the apartment, she gives both pets extra treats and fresh water. "I'll be back this afternoon," she tells them. "Be good while I'm gone." Sarah arrives at the cafe 10 minutes early. It's a cozy place near the park, with outdoor seating under colorful umbrellas. Since the weather is nice, she chooses a table outside. She orders a cappuccino while waiting for James. James arrives exactly on time. He looks different outside of work, more relaxed in jeans and a blue button-up shirt. He sees Sarah and waves, walking over to her table. "Hi, Sarah. You look nice," he says, a bit shyly. "Thanks. So do you," she replies with a smile. "I already ordered a cappuccino. What would you like?" "I'll get an Americano." "Be right back," James says and goes to the counter to order. Sarah takes a deep breath. This feels strange but nice. It's been a long time since she's had coffee with someone new, especially someone she might be interested in romantically. James returns with his coffee and sits across from her. There's a moment of awkward silence before they both speak at once. "Thanks again for the photo," Sarah starts. "How are Max and Luna?" James says simultaneously. They both laugh, and the tension eases a bit. "You go first," James offers. "I was just saying thank you again for the photo. It's really beautiful." "I didn't know you took it that day at the park," Sarah says. James smiles. "You looked so happy with your pets. It was a perfect moment. I hope you didn't mind me taking it." "Not at all. It's one of the best photos I have with them," Sarah assures him. "So, you like photography?" "Yes, it's been a hobby of mine for years. I mostly take nature photos, birds, landscapes. But sometimes people too, if I see a good moment," James explains, becoming more animated as he talks about his passion. "That's actually something I want to learn more about," Sarah says. "I signed up for a photography class that starts today." "Really? That's great!" James exclaims. "What made you interested in photography?" Sarah thinks for a moment. "I've always enjoyed taking photos, but they're just basic snapshots. I want to learn how to capture moments better, tell stories through images. And maybe it's also about seeing the world differently, noticing details I might otherwise miss." James nods in understanding. "That's exactly what I love about photography. It makes you more observant, more present in the moment. The conversation flows easily from there. They talk about photography, about their jobs, about movies they've seen recently. Sarah learns that James grew up in a small town like her, that he has a younger brother who lives overseas, and that he plays guitar in his free time. "I'm not very good," he admits. "But it's fun, and it helps me relax after a day of fixing computer problems." Sarah shares stories about Max and Luna, about her family, about her love of mystery novels. She feels comfortable with James. He's a good listener, and he has a dry sense of humor that makes her laugh. 2 hours pass quickly. Sarah is surprised when she checks the time and realizes she needs to leave for her photography class soon. "I should get going. My class starts at 1 o'clock, she says reluctantly. "Of course. Where is it?" James asks. "At the community center on Maple Street," Sarah tells him. "That's not far. I can walk you there if you'd like," James offers. Sarah smiles. "I'd like that." They pay for their coffees and walk together toward the community center. It's a pleasant 15-minute walk through tree-lined streets. Along the way, James points out interesting architectural details on buildings that Sarah never noticed before. "See how the light hits that window? The reflection creates a beautiful pattern on the sidewalk," he says, showing Sarah how to look at ordinary things with a photographer's eye. At the community center, they stop outside the entrance. There's a moment of hesitation, neither wanting to end their time together. "I had a really nice time, Sarah," James says. "Me too," Sarah replies. "Maybe we could do it again?" "I'd love that," James smiles. "Maybe dinner next week?" "Friday evening." "Friday sounds perfect," Sarah agrees. There's another brief pause, and then James leans in and gives her a quick, gentle kiss on the cheek. Sarah feels herself blush. "Good luck with your class." "I can't wait to see your photos," James says before walking away. Sarah watches him go, feeling a warm, happy glow. The coffee date went better than she expected. James is kind, interesting, and they share common interests. And that kiss on the cheek. Small but significant. With a smile on her face, Sarah enters the community center for her first photography class, looking forward to the new experiences ahead. The photography class. The community center is busy with weekend activities. Children run to dance classes, senior citizens gather for a book club, and teenagers practice in the music room. Sarah follows the signs to room 203 for the photography class. The classroom is set up with chairs in a semicircle. A projector screen is at the front. About 12 other students are already there, ranging in age from college students to retirees. Some have professional-looking cameras, while others, like Sarah, just have their phones. Sarah takes a seat next to a woman about her age who has a friendly smile. "First time taking a photography class?" the woman asks. "Is it that obvious?" Sarah laughs. "Only because you look as nervous as I feel," the woman says. "I'm Karen, by the way." "Sarah. Nice to meet you." They chat until the instructor arrives. Mr. Peterson is a tall man in his 50s with gray hair and glasses. He carries a large camera bag and has an energetic presence. "Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to start this journey with you," he begins. Photography is about seeing the world with fresh eyes, capturing moments, and telling stories through images. Whether you have a professional camera or just your phone, the principles are the same. Mr. Peterson shows a presentation of his work. Stunning landscapes, intimate portraits, lively street scenes. Each photo tells a story, captures an emotion, or reveals beauty in unexpected places. For our first class, we'll cover the basics: composition, lighting, and perspective. Then we'll go outside and practice what we've learned, he explains. The first hour is devoted to understanding the fundamental principles of photography. Sarah takes detailed notes. She learns about the rule of thirds, about how light affects mood, about the importance of angles and perspective. The same subject can look completely different depending on how you approach it. Mr. Peterson demonstrates with a series of photos of a simple flower, from above, from below, in sunlight, in shadow. For the second hour, the class goes outside to practice. Mr. Peterson gives them an assignment. Find 3 ordinary objects and photograph them in a way that reveals something interesting or beautiful about them. Sarah walks around the community center garden, looking with new eyes at familiar objects. A park bench under a tree catches her attention. Instead of taking a straightforward photo, she moves to capture the shadow pattern the leaves create on the bench. The result is more artistic than her usual snapshots. Next, she notices a water fountain. She experiments with different angles, finally capturing the moment water droplets catch the sunlight, creating tiny rainbows. For her third subject, she chooses an old bicycle leaning against a wall, focusing on the rusty, weathered handlebars that tell a story of years of use. The class regroups, and Mr. Peterson reviews some of their photos on the projector. He selects Sarah's water fountain photo to discuss. Notice how Sarah captured a moment we might usually miss: the light refracting through water droplets. This transforms something ordinary into something magical, he says. Sarah feels a glow of pride. Maybe she does have an eye for this after all. After class, Karen approaches her. Your photos were really good. Want to grab some coffee and talk about the class? Sarah hesitates for a moment, then smiles. Actually, yes. That would be nice. They find a small cafe near the community center and chat about the class, their interests, and their lives. Karen works as a nurse, is divorced, and has 2 teenage children. She's taking the photography class as a way to find a creative outlet for herself now that her kids are more independent. It's easy to lose yourself in work and family responsibilities, Karen says. I'm trying to rediscover who I am beyond those roles. Sarah understands completely. I sometimes feel like I'm just going through the motions. Work, home, sleep, repeat. That's why I signed up for this class. To break the routine. Well, if you want a photography buddy to practice with between classes, I'd be up for it, Karen offers. I'd like that, Sarah says, realizing she might have found a new friend. A new perspective. By the time Sarah returns home, it's late afternoon. Max greets her at the door with excited barks and jumps. Luna meows from the sofa, more reserved but clearly happy to see her too. I missed you too, Sarah laughs, kneeling to pet Max and then moving to stroke Luna's soft fur. Sarah feels energized by the day's events. The coffee date with James went well, and the photography class opened her eyes to a new way of seeing the world. Even her apartment looks different now. She notices how the afternoon light creates warm patterns on the wall, how the arrangement of books on her shelf creates interesting lines and shapes. She takes out her phone and starts taking photos around her apartment, applying what she learned in class. She captures Luna in a sunbeam, the light highlighting her green eyes. She photographs Max's favorite toy on the carpet, using a low angle to make it look more dramatic. She even takes a creative shot of her coffee mug on the kitchen counter, focusing on the steam rising in the late afternoon light. Looking at these new photos, Sarah feels a sense of accomplishment. They're not perfect, but they're better than her usual snapshots. They show intention, thought, and a new way of seeing. Later that evening, Sarah calls Lisa to tell her about her day. "It sounds like you had a wonderful time," Lisa says. "And James sounds promising. When do you see him again?" "Friday for dinner," Sarah replies. "I'm already looking forward to it." "Good for you, Sarah. I'm happy you're trying new things and meeting new people," Lisa says sincerely. After the call, Sarah looks at the photo of her, Max, and Luna that James took. With her new knowledge from the photography class, she can appreciate the composition better. How James positioned them in the frame, how he captured the light just right. Sarah places the photo on her nightstand, where she'll see it first thing in the morning. It represents something important. A new chapter beginning, new possibilities opening up. That night, as Sarah gets ready for bed, she feels content in a way she hasn't in a long time. Max settles at the foot of her bed, and Luna curls up on the pillow next to hers, just like every night. Some things remain the same, providing comfort and stability. But other things are changing, bringing new energy and meaning to her life. "Good night, my friends," Sarah whispers to her pets. "Today was a good day, wasn't it?" Max wags his tail in sleepy agreement, and Luna purrs softly. Sarah falls asleep with a smile on her face, looking forward to what tomorrow might bring. Life is indeed made up of ordinary days, but sometimes ordinary days can bring extraordinary moments. For Sarah, this is just the beginning of a new journey. Learning to see beauty in everyday life, opening herself to new connections, and discovering new aspects of herself along the way. In the weeks and months ahead, there will be more coffee dates with James, more photography classes, more walks in the park with Max, more quiet evenings with Luna. There will be challenges too, no doubt. But Sarah feels ready to face them with a new perspective. After all, even an ordinary life can be extraordinary when you learn to see it through the right lens. 20 key vocabulary words from the story. 1. Routine. A definition. Things you do regularly in the same way or order. Example. Sarah's morning routine includes yoga, shower, and breakfast. From the story. The morning routine is the same. Yoga, shower, breakfast. 2. Colleague. A definition. A person you work with. Example. Anna is Sarah's colleague at the office. From the story. Her colleague, Anna, sits next to her. 3. Commute. A definition. The journey from home to work and back again. Example. The evening commute is more crowded than the morning. From the story. On the way home, Sarah stops at the grocery store. 4. Hesitate. A definition. To pause before doing or saying something. Example. Sarah hesitates before answering the difficult question. From the story. There's a moment of hesitation, neither wanting to end their time together. 5. Appreciate. A definition. To understand the value of something. Example. Sarah appreciates James's kindness. From the story. With her new knowledge from the photography class, she can appreciate the composition better. 6. Opportunity. A definition. A chance to do something new or different. Example. The new project is an opportunity for Sarah to grow. From the story. This could be a new opportunity for growth. 7. Persuade. A definition. To make someone agree to do something. Example. Anna tries to persuade Sarah to join them for drinks. From the story. Come on, Sarah. It's Wednesday, halfway through the week. We deserve some fun, Anna persuades. 8. Anxious. A definition. Worried about something. Example. Sarah feels anxious waiting for Mrs. Rodriguez to call back. From the story. Sarah waits anxiously for her call back. 9. Nervous. A definition. Feeling worried about something that is going to happen. Example. Sarah feels nervous before her date with James. From the story. Sarah wakes up earlier than usual, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. 10. Professional. A definition. Related to work or having great skill in your job. Example. Sarah is always professional at work. From the story. Sarah nods politely and returns to her desk. She doesn't like David much, but she is always professional. 11. Ordinary. A definition. Not special or different from what is normal. Example. It was just an ordinary Tuesday for Sarah. From the story. Find 3 ordinary objects and photograph them in a way that reveals something interesting or beautiful about them. 12. Patient. A definition. Able to wait or accept problems without complaining. Example. Sarah is patient with elderly customers. From the story. She is patient and good at solving problems. 13. Curious. A definition. Wanting to know or learn about something. Example. Sarah is curious about the mysterious package. From the story. Sarah is curious and excited about the package. 14. Perspective. Definition. A way of looking at or thinking about something. Example. The photography class gives Sarah a new perspective. From the story. Sarah feels ready to face them with a new perspective. 15. Comfortable. A definition. Feeling relaxed and at ease. Example. Sarah feels comfortable talking with James. From the story. She feels comfortable with James. He's a good listener. 16. Excited. A definition. Feeling very happy and eager about something. Example. Max is excited when Sarah comes home. From the story. When Sarah opens her apartment door, Max greets her with excitement. 17. Accomplishment. Definition. Something you have succeeded in doing. Example. Completing the project gives Sarah a sense of accomplishment. From the story. Looking at these new photos, Sarah feels a sense of accomplishment. 18. Awkward. A definition. making you feel uncomfortable or embarrassed. Example: there was an awkward silence after his question. From the story, there's a moment of awkward silence before they both speak at once. 19. Composition. A definition: the way parts are arranged to form a whole, especially in art or photography. Example: the composition of the photograph shows Sarah's growing skills. From the story, she can appreciate the composition better. How James positioned them in the frame, how he captured the light just right. 20. Reflect. Definition: to think deeply about something. Example: Sarah reflects on her day before going to sleep. From the story, as she falls asleep, Sarah reflects on the changes coming into her life. When ordinary Sarah opens her door to an unexpected package, she unwraps not just a photo frame, but a new lens through which her predictable life suddenly sparkles with possibility. Thank you for joining Sarah on her journey today. Every ordinary day holds extraordinary possibilities, just like your journey to English fluency. If this story helped you learn new words or inspired you, please hit the like button and share it with friends who are also learning English. What would you do if you were Sarah? Tell us in the comments below. For more simple stories that make learning English enjoyable and meaningful, subscribe to our Story-Driven English channel. We post new stories every week to help you improve your vocabulary while being entertained. Remember, the best way to learn a language is through stories that touch your heart. See you in our next adventure.